When it comes to Atomy toothbrushes, they're very famous for the title, "A toothbrush sold every second."
If you look at the cumulative sales of Atomy toothbrushes, 261 million units have been sold. The size of the Atomy toothbrush is 190 millimeters. If you convert that length cumulatively, it amounts to 49,300 kilometers. This distance is said to be enough to circle the Earth and then some. So once again, I could really feel just how much Atomy toothbrushes are loved by so many consumers.
First of all, I think it's truly remarkable from a consumer's perspective that a single product has continued to grow in sales and be sold for 10 years. When we say that our quality is good, I think the biggest hint is that this is actually recognized in the field, and the number of people who keep seeking out and using our toothbrushes continues to steadily increase. In that process, to be honest, I believe the partner company's contribution is actually much greater than Atomy's.
All this time, we've put in a lot of effort to realize the philosophy of absolute quality. It's extremely important to manage things so that the set specifications and process working conditions of the products currently being produced are consistently maintained. For reliability testing of materials, we conduct a variety of tests, such as tensile strength tests, impact strength tests, and fatigue resistance tests, and we carry these out under conditions that are actually much harsher than those required by the case specifications.
Whenever all materials are received at Duotech, we first conduct an initial incoming inspection.
First, we conduct a basic visual inspection to check for any abnormalities in the incoming materials, and then we meticulously check all the characteristic values and condition values inside. So yes, we are carrying out incoming inspections for those aspects.
Products that pass the incoming inspection are then sent to the site and used for actual production. After the production process, we conduct a full inspection of every item. No matter how precise the machines are, visual inspection by humans is the most accurate. So we do this as a cross-check.
During the patrol inspection, all the toothbrushes produced in the process are collected. They test the products about 3 times a day to check whether the quality remains consistent or if there are any unusual issues.
As a second step, we conduct a finished product test before shipment. And to minimize the defect rate, we have even implemented a vision system in our production process. The average defect rate is about 0.02%. This 0.02% comes from defects in raw materials and similar issues. In reality, the actual defect rate is probably much lower. Since these products go directly into people's mouths, we have to be extremely thorough when it comes to hygiene. We clean the machines every single day. We install the dust collector in the automated system.
To eliminate any potential bacteria or viruses during our production process, we've specifically added advanced features like UVC sterilization.
Compared to before, the occurrence of small foreign substances in packaging has decreased by about 60%.
We are making truly painstaking efforts to achieve absolute quality.
Now, in order to carry out these quality improvement activities, continuous investment is inevitably required. For this purpose, we have been making facility investments such as automatic toothbrush dispensers and the newly introduced packaging equipment, as well as improving the factory. These efforts have helped create the necessary conditions for quality improvement.
With Atomy's rapid sales growth, since 2019, we have had to make additional facility investment. In the process, we developed eco-friendly product packaging to align with Atomy's environmental policies.
By using minimal and optimal packaging, we are able to save resources and reduce costs. That was the key point. And to ensure complete recyclability, we focused on not using plastic vinyl coatings or metallic foil processing on paper materials. So instead of the traditional blister adhesive packaging, we used water-based coating on single material packaging to display the printed designs on our product.
Now, we've eliminated plastic entirely, and as a result, we're seeing significant benefits in terms of recycling and other related areas.
But choosing paper packaging was something of a risk for us because it took a lot of courage to abandon our previous packaging machine, which had cost us over $1 billion.
In fact, a tremendous amount of money was invested as the initial facility cost, but fortunately, because the CEO truly empathized with Atomy's policy direction, he was more than willing to move forward with the facility investment and related matters.
The cost of raw materials was already quite high, and since it was a task that simply couldn't be done by hand, the unit price would have increased even more, potentially making it a product that exceeded a reasonable price level, so we deliberated a lot over it. However, thanks to the support from our CEO and also from Atomy, we decided to move forward with developing an automatic packaging machine.
The automatic toothbrush packaging system that our company built was the first of its kind in the world. So it took a lot of time, and as a result, the product launch was delayed by more than 3 months. Even so, Atomy waited until the system was stabilized and the product quality was assured.
That's the part where I was the youngest. The synchronization part, we had to bundle 2 of each of the 4 colors, and then those pairs had to be grouped into such a way. Many companies gave up because the configuration itself was so difficult, but we persevered to the end and completed the development.
Previously, we had a capacity of about 35 million units. But now, we've established an automatic toothbrush packaging line with a capacity of around 51 million units.
Compared to our previous production, that's about a 45% increase. At this point, we take pride in the fact that our technology has become much more advanced.
Deciding to implement an automated toothbrush production line seems like a very easy decision. Let's automate. But in most cases, manufacturers find it difficult to try this because of issues like yield rates and unit cost. That's because they can't guarantee the timeline. Even though we can't guarantee the results, being able to make the decision to invest this much money and give it a try, I think that was possible because it was viable. In fact, I think that's the part Atomy most expects and hopes for in its relationship with Hanyotsu. Instead, Atomy provides support so that the company doesn't give up halfway. During the trial period, Atomy takes full responsibility for the waiting involved. In return, you need to be willing to take the road less traveled and have the courage to do so, and only then can the next step of product development happen. So in that respect, I think Dialtech is truly setting a great example as a company. Yes.
In the existing system, if you want to double or triple production, you have no choice but to increase the workforce. Despite rising labor costs and raw material prices, Dialtech Korea has been able to maintain absolute quality and absolute pricing because we've invested heavily in automation, and that's why we've been able to keep our prices stable so far.
Among the many products used at Atomy, this is actually one of the flagship items, which might come as a surprise. How could a 991 toothbrush become a flagship product? You might wonder about this, but in fact, toothbrushes are included as a must-have import-export item in our overseas branches. Since it serves as a kind of big data product, naturally its expansion overseas has been progressing smoothly, and overseas sales are also steadily increasing.
Including the launch of Atomy Dialtech in China in 2020, Atomy toothbrushes are now supplied to 22 countries. In 2019, sales grew by 19% compared to the previous year, and in 2020, sales increased by an impressive 47%. In 2020, we received the $5 million Tower Award. In December 2021, we received the $7 million Tower Award.
Recently, in October 2020, we received the KMF Halal certification. In February 2022, we also obtained the Indian Halal certification. Through this, we believe that our Muslim customers can now trust and purchase our products, which gives us a sense of fulfillment.
I'm sure everyone is familiar with Atomy's concept of mass prestige, but we believe that a true premium product is something you can always use in your daily life without change and always be satisfied with. And that kind of premium product doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. Toothbrushes, for example, are a perfect representation of this idea. So you could say that it's a truly iconic product for Atomy. And because this iconic product has continued to be loved for over 10 years without changing, we can now confidently say that it's a premium product with real heritage. And I believe that this strength will allow it to continue as a premium product even 10 years from now.
We would like to express our gratitude for the endless love you have shown for Dialtech Korea's Atomy toothbrush up to now.
We will continue to do our best to maintain our original commitment, uphold absolute quality and absolute price, and develop more prestige products.
We will do our utmost for our members.
To repay the love and interest you have shown us, we will work even harder in the future.
Oh, and please show lots of love for our children's toothbrush as well. Kids really love it.